Hey, Jarek here, and this is the Goblin Solo. It's a dart blaster, but the spring isn't housed anywhere in the blaster. It uses this to fire. There's a spring in this shotgun shell looking thing. You push something inside of it till it clicks, and then you can load basically anything you want to into this. It's big enough to fit pretty much just one half-length dart, but then you pull the latch on the back, which will spring it open, put that in, and in order to fire, you have to be holding this down. If you don't hold this down, trigger will not do anything. That makes a weird situation because there's not a grip on this, so yeah, how do you hold it? It's kind of uncomfortable, but you can get used to it, and it shoots pretty okay for just being a spring in here. And even better, it's shell ejecting. Just fun. When I chronoed this thing, I was getting 50 feet per second with pretty much any projectile I put in the shells. It didn't matter if it was Worker Gen 3, bamboo darts, even those 50 cal sized foam balls, those also shot in the 50s. Although they shot kind of upper 50s, one of them even got up to 60, but for the most part, this thing's really consistent at about 50 FPS. That is with the exception of one of the shells, which shot weaker than the other ones. Which makes sense, you might get variable frame rates if each shell has its own spring, so one may end up being weaker or more worn in. But the thing that really surprised me right out of the box is that this thing is heavy for how small it is, because every piece on this blaster that is black is just a huge chunk of metal, and you can see how much metal is there. That's just a solid brick. Trigger's also metal, this mechanism is also metal, so that's pretty solid. I can't see that breaking on you. This is metal, but even the plastic bits are pretty solid plastic. So this thing is built like a tank for how small it is. It's a cool little toy. I just didn't expect it to be this solid. You know, usually when they make toys that are gimmicky and shell ejecting like this, it's just like cheap plastic toy for children. But I mean, this is just fun. I have no worries about this thing ever breaking. I could do that all day. Now, this one was sent to me from a website called CS Noobs. So if you want to get one of these for yourself, I'll put a link in the video information and in a pinned comment. There's not really a whole lot to talk about with this thing, other than just to show it off a bit, because it is pretty fun to shoot, so let's shoot it. Something I forgot to mention is that when you're priming these, make sure you have something at least flat. I probably shouldn't be using like solid metal for this either. But yeah, don't use like a sharp screwdriver or something, because that's gonna dig into this plastic. First projectile, full-length dart. Yep, this works. It's just gonna be a bit silly, but that's what this blaster does best. A little bit silly. Won't work particularly well, but you gotta try it. It's just funny. Look at that. Didn't even knock down the target. Yeah, it's not gonna shoot very hard like that. I think that has a better chance of knocking the target down. All right, half-length Worker Gen 3. That didn't knock it down either. I'm gonna hit it with that at some point. Let's try with a bamboo dart. I'm getting there. Singular 50 cal foam ball. Every once in a while, someone will make fun of me saying, oh, did he just say 50 cal? What an idiot. Yeah, that's literally the diameter of these projectiles. They're literally 50 cal. It's just people online watching videos, hearing the word 50 cal and immediately thinking guns, not realizing that it's literally 50 cal. It's caliber, that's how that works. Anyway, let's see if this one can knock down the target. Nope. So close. All right, let's shotgun load it now. I've noticed the best chance of it shooting really hard is with 2 instead of 3. You can fit 3 in, but I mean, the spring isn't strong enough for 3, so let's just load 2 in and see how that works. Only one of them hit the target, so there's already a spread at, I'm less than 10 feet away. Oh, right. I'll shoot one more try. Let's go with all 3 so you can see how strong this is. Also, the third one's not gonna stay in, so it realistically only holds 2, but if you don't tip it over, I mean, it'll still shoot. That was actually a pretty decent spread, but I missed everything, so let's try again. All right, take two. It's shooting to the left. Hey, I did it! That's a more lethal projectile than it actually shooting. All right, one more try. I can't miss it 3 times in a row or whatever I've done. Hey, and that knocked it over. Just requires 3 projectiles to make it work. 3 that won't fit in properly because the third one will fall out, but it is pretty fun, I will admit. But yeah, this thing's a pretty fun toy. It's built like an absolute tank. The spring is just fully contained in the shell. This is all it uses to fire. Pretty easy to prime, pretty fun shell ejection system. Can fire anything you shove into these. I mean, it's a neat little toy. I definitely would recommend it despite how much I'm joking around about it being weak. I mean, 50 FPS for what it is pretty good. Like, it's a decent pop for just this little spring. So hey, check the video information in the pinned comment. That's where you can buy one of these things if you want them. Thanks for watching.